How's it, James?
I'm lekker, man. No complaints.
Great, great, great.
As I say, if it's not raining in Cape Town, it's a great day. It's been all right. Can't
But you
complain.
have to be you have to be careful when you say is it not raining in Cape Town because you never know.
You never know. Yeah, but I had a sneak out of my window, so I didn't see any rain. So, William, how's it?
Jimmy, what's happening, mate? How are you?
I'm lekker, man.
Good, good, good.
Ticking along nicely. Rostel, have you been busy?
Yes, I have been. Hello, how
Okay,
are you?
that's good to hear. I'm very well, and yourself?
I'm good, good. And I'm busy with yours. I will be sending some ideas through to you.
Excellent, excellent.
Here you go. It's all moving on. Nontabeka, long time no see. We heard you, but we didn't see you. So, how's it going?
Are you speaking to me?
No, I'm saying how's it to Nontabeko, but I don't know if she can hear me. Now I'm speaking to you. How's it?
Good. I'm really good. Wait, let me just switch this on. Hold on. Yes. I'm here.
There you go. How's it? Anyway.
How's everybody else?
I think they're good.
It's just hot. Very hot.
Rumor has it, yeah. Let's see. I must be honest, I have been so frantically busy. I saw one or two people mail me. I hardly even had a chance to check. So I'm not sure who's coming and who's not today. So we'll give it another moment or so. Inga, how's it? You're looking very serious today. What's going on there? Oh, okay.
A lot. I've literally, this is my fourth back to back. I've literally had back to backs. I'm kind of jumping out of the one, jumping into the one, leaving one early to jump into another one because I'm not going to be on time. It's been like that the whole day. So
I know that feeling. It's
I'm not complaining, but it's just been one of those.
It is indeed. All right. Well, it seems like we have a nice small group today. Here we go. See, if you wait a little bit, then the action heats up. Right. While I'm waiting for the action to heat up,
need to be done. We'll just do it.
There we go. We'll just do it. Well said.
Okay.
Let's do a chat. I'm going to upload the notes for today. Oops. Hang on. I think I might have. No, that's not what I want to do. How do I undo this? I'm not sure I've got the right one open. I do. What's wrong with me? Try that again. Oh dear. Oh, right, that's what's wrong. Right, I'm uploading notes for you guys into the chat, so you guys can grab. Let's just do a quick orientation while you, well, actually, let me give you a second to grab that. Then I'll do a quick orientation and then we'll dive into today. Has everybody got it?
Busy getting it?
This meeting is being recorded.
So it's always funny with these note takers. Like when people they join the meeting, because we like mine also and Praneet is like we've got them all set up, so it's like automatic, and it's actually funny, particularly
the recording has stopped.
The Otter AI. I always find with them, like the note taker appears before the person does. Sometimes the person doesn't go to the meeting, but the note taker is there. So yeah, let me record this as well. Right. Okay. So let me dive into. Let's move this across. 1 second. There we go. So I'm just orientating us on the other screen so I can see what's happening. Here we go. Okay, so just a quick orientation. So today we're going to talk about the next piece in the about section, being the story piece. This is one of the most interesting pieces, actually. So just a quick recap. We looked in the first week in terms of picking a niche. Was that group of people with a similar set of characteristics that are most likely to buy our stuff. Looked at where our internal strengths were, and we looked at existing clients for clues. Then we went into week 2 and we created our magic message. It's probably the most important thing almost that you'll do, because literally everything else you do is driven off this. So it's your value proposition. And we use this little formula. So if I could give you a result I know you 100% really want, so that's solving the big problem that your niche has in a specified amount of time, while eliminating something you hate, which is essentially your opportunity to eliminate an objection. Would you be interested? Week 3, we spoke about the banner, which we said had 2 parts to it. Was the underlying image, and then obviously the stuff that you get to put on top. So I know a lot of you are working with Christelle now, so keep going on that till you get that up and running. And then last week we started off looking at the about section, and we spoke about this first piece, which was the hook and the little value proposition statement, which is very important because we got to get them to click the see more button. Okay, so if we just do a quick recap, we said in terms of the about section, and when we start to compare it to a website, what we find is that the about section on the website is the most clicked page on a website, where people have the first free will choice to click somewhere. Like of all these things where people can go, and that includes like clicking off the site, etc., etc. They'll click the about section, right? So this is the most important section, and that's why this little word down here you can see on your LinkedIn profile, it actually says about. And there's a whole lot of stuff that we're looking to achieve. Then we spoke about the template, right? So this is what we've done, and we're going to go through everybody now. We're going to look at the opening hook and the value proposition, and then the thing we're going to do today is we're going to look at the why story. Okay, so we're going to come back here in a bit. So Andre, unlucky for you, you are the first guy on my screen, so you get to go first. Did you come up with a good hook and a nice value proposition statement?
Yeah, I caught up with my homework that I was behind on. So if you don't mind, I just want you to take a step back, if that's okay with you. This stuff.
I mean, yeah, sure. I'm just
Sorry, I can't share my screen.
You can now. Hey, your host is terrible, eh?
Okay. Now I must just find the stuff. My head. Sorry, I've got too many things open.
Join that club. I have to say, when I start this this session, I'm always racing because also I've got a client just before this, and then I log off and I reboot, because like by the time I get there, I've got 7,000 things open.
Okay, I'm gonna. What I immediately see here is my Word document. I have put it on LinkedIn, but maybe it's easier if we look at on the Word document, because it's right in front of me.
Yeah.
So right, can you see that? I
can.
Okay, so the about section. Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit now, but the about section, I said more than 60% of startups face challenges in their first 3 years, and by year 5, an additional 50% encounter setbacks. Only about 30% make it to year 10. How can we change this?
Okay.
And then I just went on and wrote the whole about section. I'm not too sure if you want to do the rest as well.
I do not want to do the rest. I just want to
Okay.
stick to this at the moment. What's your magic message?
Yeah, that's what.
I knew you were going to ask me that.
It's there. It's there. I must just.
You just got to find it. So,
sorry.
realistically speaking, if you obviously, I'm just looking at that first paragraph now, right? So the more than 60% to how can we change this? That would be essentially the piece that you could realistically expect to get above the fold. So before we have to click on that see more button, right? Now I like some of it in terms of the idea, but I'm not quite sure what the value prop is just yet. That's why I was saying, what was the magic message? Because can you scale down what you've written there in terms of the interesting statistic? Because that's obviously the one that you've used, and then lead that into your value proposition. Because I still don't know what you do. Okay, so there's challenges. So what? Sure, I know that. How can we change this?
James, just let me just order what's going on my computer. Can we just come back to me? Let me just close a lot of things, and then it will be easier to share if you don't mind. I've got everything here. I've just got too many things open here. It's confusing.
All right. Okay. Well, let's come back to him. Christelle, can I press on your button? You got less stuff going on.
Hello. Yes. So my hook I wrote. I'm just going to read it to you. Did you know that business owners waste up to 20 hours a week on routine tasks, while 82% of entrepreneurs who use virtual assistants report increased productivity and better work-life balance? That's my hook. What do you think?
Read it again.
Sure. Did you know that business owners waste up to 20 hours a week on routine tasks, while 82% of entrepreneurs use virtual assistants to report increased productivity and better work-life balance? So I know I need to make it a bit more shorter. Just don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah, it gets the point across, and I wouldn't start where you said, and I know you following kind of what I taught you before, but I actually wouldn't. I'd get rid of that "did you know" part. Let's go in and state it. Like, this is how it is. And you I don't know if we can get a call to action in there. What was the magic message?
Oh, let me just go back and see what my magic message was.
So
I'll save it.
While she's looking for that, the reason that I'm asking you guys for that is if you kind of look at the notes from last week and the formula, the hook really its job is really just to get to stop scrolling. But actually, the truth is the most important thing is actually your value proposition being in there. So in our magic message, what we did with the value proposition is we asked a question, right? And we asked the question on the basis of, you know, the mind hates the open loop and has got to answer. And if it says yes, then, you know, technically it'll push people to read the rest of your profile. So you've already done that work up at the top. So as they start to get down and they get into the about section, you can quite happily state that value proposition again, right? Because if it worked up there, it's going to work down here. If the value proposition is strong and it really is solving a big problem, but then you make a subtle change to it. So instead of asking the question, if I could, would you be interested? You just go state the fact. You say, look, this is what I do. So again, it's very clear. So if we can do that, what we're doing is we're chopping off the bits on either end, and then all we're trying to do is to replace those bits with the little hook, something that's just going to stop the scroll and say, oh, okay. If you were really under the cosh and you absolutely could not come up with a hook, then you would just take your magic message, chop off the question part, you know, if I could, and then would you be interested? And then you just have the middle piece, and you could say, like, I do this. and honestly, that's a really, really good intro section. That's probably enough in a lot of cases to get people to actually click the see more button, which is what we want them to do. But if you can create an interesting hook that you can use as a springboard, you know, for that value proposition statement, it really makes a big difference. You know, it gets people to slow down. And why it makes a difference is not because of the content, it's just because it's different. Like very few people will do that. It's a bit of a pattern interrupt for people, and they're going through, and it's like, okay, I've already seen this before. Because people whip through LinkedIn profiles now, like like they whip through websites. We've got to use all these little subtle tricks to try to get their attention. So that's really all you're trying to do. So what I'm seeing with a lot of the hooks, well, two of you, a lot, 100% in fact, it's probably a little too long. But Christelle, in your case, the hook comes back to value prop. So you're not very far off actually, and in fact you might even be okay with what you've got. Just get to the did you know that you can be a lot more forceful. It is so, dude. Click the damn button. Come see more. That's
Okay.
So what was your value prop
My
again?
So
Your magic message.
if I could give you up to 20 hours backup and save you money every single month by handing your administrative full PA content and social media management tasks, would you be interested?
I must admit, I can't your new hook if you just get rid of the
Okay.
because what you can do is have that as the intro, then do exactly what I said. So take your magic message, put it below that. So in other words, after they've clicked on the see more and it opens, then you hit them with a bigger value proposition. I know you're repeating, it's fine. There's some stuff is fine, you can repeat, but again, don't ask the question, just tell them, hey, this is what I do. And you could say, I help, and you can be a little bit more specific in terms of the niche to do this. It's actually quite a nice lead in. I think that works for you. Actually.
Perfect. Thank you.
So well done. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Andrea, you're a winner.
Yep. Let's
All
try
right.
again.
All right,
Let's try again.
Let's do it.
Okay. So there's the magic message. If I could help you improve profits by boosting team synergy, lowering workplace stress, and enhancing personal growth, all without major overhauls and taking effect in just 60 days, would you be interested?
So if I could help you improve profits by boosting team synergy, lowering workplace stress, and enhancing personal growth. Okay. All the major overhauls. All right, I'm getting there. So the value proposition, I'm looking at this now and I'm saying, all right, so it's improved profits. Okay, cool. I want that. And then how are we doing that? By boosting team synergy, lowering workplace stress, and enhancing personal growth. Is there more you can add to that? Because I'm only half in at this point. I'm like,
What are you missing? What's missing for you?
What's missing is maybe how you do it and what specifically I'm looking at, because that's a very broad statement and I'm not really sure exactly what problem you're solving. Because Dalvin also solves your profits problem because she does your accounts properly.
Okay.
You don't have to fix that now. I'm just commenting when you go back, because you've got quite an interesting proposition.
Can we look at the banner, because maybe that leads into this part?
Yes.
Just maybe. So I'm saying unlock your brain superpowers, revolutionize your decisions, and enhance business and personal success. It was just loose thoughts that I put on there. I'm actually waiting for your feedback for Christelle to start working on it.
So when you start talking about unlock your brain superpowers, now you're starting to talk to me, because I'm not quite sure how, but I understand now you're talking brain. Now it's getting a little bit clearer. So improve profitability, I'm on board. You got me there, okay? But this, like team synergy, lowering workplace stress, enhancing personal growth. Everybody says that. What does that mean? I'm being devil's advocate, okay? So don't take this personally.
No, please.
Okay.
I'm struggling how to get this across.
But now
going into too much depth, because you know what we do. I mean, we profile brains, and then from there we profile the team's brains, and we align them. But I don't know how to say that without going into too much detail.
Exactly like you just said to me now. That's how you say it.
Okay.
We profile brains, and we tell you how they work.
Okay.
So that you can get the best out of it. And then you can say to boost team synergy, lower workplace stress, and enhance personal growth. But
So
that's what you do. It's
What
we might
feedback?
come up with a clever way of saying it. We might give it a different name.
my
But fundamentally,
question is,
that's it.
if we say this here on the top banner, will it then lead into the magic message, or must that sit in the magic message as well?
So I just repeat that.
So
I'm not trying to.
if I say we profile brains in this banner, will that then make more sense in the magic message if we don't repeat it, or do you want that profile of brain sit in the magic message as well?
The magic message plays a bigger role because it gets seen everywhere.
Okay.
So it's not just the visual that you're getting when people go onto
Okay.
LinkedIn.
Okay.
Remember, anything on LinkedIn, what you're going to see, and I mean, this is a good lesson for everybody. Your profile pic goes, and again, this depends on which device people are viewing on, but that and at least the first 90 characters, right? So the first 90 characters, you want to be as descriptive as possible, because if somebody's replying to a post, or they're commenting, or there's a they have done a LinkedIn search, or you send them a connection request or whatever, that's what they're seeing. If somebody is Googling for a solution like that, because you're so unique, there's a very good chance that you would come up, and that's the quote unquote metadata that it's going to pull, and people are going to see that. So this is a really important piece, right? What you put in here goes a lot further than just a visual. So that's why I would say no to that question that you just asked. You want to try to be as specific as possible.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, the profiling brains thing. I mean, that's what you do. That's your differentiator, right?
Yeah.
All sorts of interesting things can come from that. But it's kind of like, we'll help you to profile your brain so you can unlock your power. I mean, it's very.
So it's much more direct and much more specific. That's what you say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right.
And then the about section.
Well, again, we've got to be sure on what we want to say. But you're saying, okay. So actually, what you're seeing there is as much text as you're going to see on a desktop, right? So you're saying more than 60% of startups face challenges in their first 3 years, and by year 5, initial 50% encounter setbacks. Only about 30% make it to 10. There's too much information there. Like, pick one of those things and punch me in the head with it. Right? There's too much. Then also, the formatting is not great, because now I want there to be a space, because you must remember that most people, right, are reading your profile on a phone.
Okay.
So on a phone, we don't want big blocks of text. We want what used to be a paragraph must be a sentence. So we want it to be like a short, right? Running a business complex and while success requires a range of factors, subconscious biases, and unseen knowledge gaps account. Okay, so here you're starting to get into it. So this idea of subconscious bias, we just got to find a way to pull it together. So shorten this, and then this sort of thing with that changed value proposition, where you bring it in.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Okay.
That you just hit them in the head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's very
great. Excellent.
Right.
Thanks.
Well, thanks, Andre. I actually think there was very good learning for everybody. There's a lot that actually came out of that. So thank you for sharing. Appreciate that. All right. So let's pull this back. William, you are up.
Jimmy, cool. I've been a bit of a bad boy. I've been so busy, but I'm going to show you my profile. Let me just share my screen. Okay, sorry, that's exchange rate. Here's my LinkedIn. So pretty much my company wanted me to keep the parity wealth banner. But pretty much if I can help you protect your assets, hedge against the rand, and get a global view of your portfolio, would you be interested?
Wait.
Then,
Go back. Just let me take that in. If I help you protect your assets, hedge against the rand, I'm in there. You get a global view of your portfolio. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, and then about us section, It's got a little bit about me, offshore manager, what I do, key areas of expertise, why work with me, and then a call to action. Let's connect to explore
Okay,
how I can help you.
We're long way away from that. Go, refresh your profile. Yeah, click the little refresh button, and then don't click anything. Just scroll down to your about section. Okay, scroll down a bit more so that I can. All right. So you see what you're seeing before the see more button. Okay, offshore wealth manager. I don't hate that, but I think you could. I might put that just slightly lower because this is the point where you're trying to get them to click the see more button. So as an offshore wealth manager with a deep-rooted passion for economics, I specialize in helping South Africans navigate the complex of international investment opportunities. So there is a reasonable expectation of what you're doing. I think you could make it a little bit stronger, but I certainly don't hate that. That is quite possible. I don't know that it's stopping the scroll and getting me excited. I think you could probably come up with something a little bit more interesting to stop the scroll and talk a little bit more like with your value prop.
Do you think I should remove these things?
Yes and no. I don't hate them there because they're quite descriptive. And like if I know that you're an offshore wealth manager, and I've probably read your magic message, right? So it's not like it's out of the blue completely. Economics enthusiast, that part I don't know, but certainly an investment advisor, but maybe investment advisor and offshore wealth manager are same. So I might keep it up, but I might move it down a little bit. I try to find a hook like South Africa's going to the dogs. What are you gonna do about it? Like I'm kind of joking, but I'm not, right? In terms of really hitting people hard, because fundamentally the guys you're dealing with are sitting in their pants. That shit's going pear-shaped here, and then you get their money out of here, right?
You see
capture that and give it to them. That's what moves the needle.
Yeah, the problem is like people I deal with, like they still love South Africa. That's why they haven't left.
Yes. So, but play on that.
So I don't want to smash SA too hard.
No. You're not smashing SA. You're smashing the uncertainty in SA and saying, listen, we're going to hedge you. Like stay here, but have the benefits of the protection if it goes pear-shaped.
Yes.
But ramp that up as much as you can. Like, don't be scared. When you're a marketer, problem's your best friend. Like when you talk to your client, know that then you turn it all down and it's nice and there's challenges. When you're marketing, oh my God, the world is ending. The house is on fire. The country is burning. If you don't speak to me now, you will be poor by frickin' sunset. That's how we market. And then when they come to you, say, it's not so bad. Chill out, come. Here's a plan. We're going to do this, this, and this. But that's how it works. Okay. All right.
So like, would I just like add a little, in that first paragraph, maybe move the emoji stuff down, and just talk about how, how it is bad out there now. The rand's not looking good, etc., etc.
Yeah, for people that love South Africa, but also love their money. I'm spitballing here, but you know what I mean. Like. That's the message, right? You've already captured it. You know what you want to say. Go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT how to say this if you must, right? But what you're basically wanting to say is give people a hard-hitting message for South Africans that love the country but are concerned about the longevity of their assets, and then you can bring in the offshore investment. If you throw that into ChatGPT, it'll give you a 1 or 2 line of sentence, which is probably very strong. So you just prompt it, tell it what you want it to do, and then ask it for. So take those formulas that I gave you and say, hey, give me a hook using these formulas. So what I mean by that is that let me just get last week's stuff. Hang on, I'll show you what I mean. Give me a minute. Sorry, I'm just going to pull the screen back. So this was last week, right? So when we did, hang on, this is not working. I can't do this because I am sharing this. Okay, let's try. What is going on here? Sorry guys, 1 second. Something is. Okay. Sorry, I can't share this and do this thing at the same time. Right, let's try this again. So last week we have got this, right? So literally you can copy and paste this like into ChatGPT. You say ChatGPT, hey, you're a South African wealth advisor working with South Africans that are worried about the country and looking to safeguard the assets overseas. Please write me a hook based on the following, and you literally copy and paste this in. It will understand that that's a template, that's the example, and it will give you the hook based on your on the template that you have. And you do it for all three and pick the one you like best.
Perfect.
Does that make
Perfect. I'll
sense?
definitely do that, Jimmy. That's
Right.
great.
Cool. All right. Let's put us back here. Yvonne, you're up. I see the shaking of the head.
Ja, ek het regtig eers gister die dinge begin rustig raak by my. So al my volgende klasse is ek 100% saam met jou. All my other classes I'll be 100% with you guys. Today I'm just gonna watch. I've got an issue with my magic message because it's the most interesting phenomena, the fact that nobody understands what affiliate program means. Oh, it's true. It's ridiculous. Like, you know, people in the industry, I'm finding this very frustrating. But they do understand referral programs. But referral programs is actually illegal in South Africa. You're not allowed to even order the referral program. So I'm kind of
Says who?
says the law.
What do you mean says the law? Of course you have a referral program. Where? Hey?
So
I can talk about a referral program. That's not illegal.
it depends on how that program is structured. So the
Yes,
term
but look, don't let that bother you now. You talked to
referral
no.
is like I said. I mean, it's not. It has that connection of the multimedia, multi levels. You know, the font is
No.
whatever.
It's in the it's in the positioning. This is a referral thing. The LinkedIn referral network Accelerator. That's what this program is called. Has referral in the name.
Yes.
No one's losing their minds about that. Huh?
This product is it's not what it is. Like mine is what it is.
No, I'll speak to you and I'll see you on Thursday. I'll sort you out with this.
Okay.
There's 2 other people to get through to get into that issue now. I'll get into that issue with you privately and then we'll sort it out.
Okay, sure.
All right, cool. Don't worry, we'll sort it. It's easy. We'll make the illegal legal. Watch. Marion, go.
Okay. Do you want me to share?
Sure.
Now I've got to remember how to do that.
Click the green button. So if you scroll your cursor down to the bottom.
Yeah, I was trying to think. Okay, so now it's disappeared. There we go. Share. Looks like that one. Yeah, got it right. Yay.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know why it's let me.
It's a pity you
there
did
it
that.
is.
Okay, never mind. Yeah.
And then, sorry, I've got to go down to find the top of it. There we are.
Okay, do me a favor, refresh your screen again. Click that little circle button at the top. All right. So stop there. Transformation minded coach, sharpen camera, shy introvert woman. To be able to show the expertise, attract and engage clients with easy presentation skills, comfortable on video, setting different over copy. Okay, cool. So now you go down, and that's what we see. Right? Whoa. Okay, so don't click anything. So your dream doesn't die when you stop dreaming. It works in your heart and to the courage to ignite the confidence to live it. And this requires that you become visible. The fear of being sort is often a real hidden reason. That is so much. That is so critical. I have no idea what you're talking about. You've lost me.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Again, I'm playing devil's advocate, right? So it's not a personal affront. It's just when I'm looking at that, like your message above was so clear. Like I'm not, but don't throw this out. Keep this, but just down a little bit. Not to, because you got to get them to click the see more button. In fact, if that's the only thing that we get them to do because of this, then we have done the job. You can tick the box. So you've gone too far away from what your message was to where you're at.
Okay.
So yeah, just tweak it a little bit. Your message is great, by the way. Your magic message is one of the best. So you're very close to this. It's like you know, I don't know, find a stat or something about being on camera. Women who appear on camera are 5 times as successful as people who don't, or something. And then you sort of go into it. Yeah, I don't know. There's a million and one things. Ask ChatGPT; it will give you the answers to everything. If nothing comes to mind.
Okay.
But yeah, too much of a disconnect as it currently is.
Thanks.
All right, cool. Thank you very much. Right. The busy one, Inga.
Second. I've got the whole world and sundry on WhatsApp.
Of course you have.
I don't know what I'm sharing with you yet. That's what I'm sharing with you.
Well, it'll be a surprise to all of us.
Can you see? Yeah.
We can, yes.
Right. So last week I didn't show you my magic message because I just hadn't gotten it right. It didn't, when you go out into the world of social media, you kind of want to resonate with who you are, So that's what I settled on. But not settled, it is still workable. You can still grow it, you can still refine it, but that is what it is in a nutshell for me.
So empowering clients to make smart, informed property investment choices with seamless sourcing of properties in South Africa and the UK. Okay.
Right.
Much closer. Yeah, good. All right.
So that's kind of where it needs to be. And then my about, I'm going to leave it at that because that is investment is literally full stop after the investment. So I've literally honed it into those 4 sentences.
Okay. So interested in property investment, but don't know where to start. Feeling overwhelmed by the noise of numbers and too scared. Sorry. Yeah, by the noise, the numbers, and too scared to take the first step alone. You're not alone. I work you want a personal approach that will help you to craft a clear, steering an actionable plan to simplify the journey, build confidence and empowered to make informed decisions to start building. Yes, sis, I'm like, my head is exploding at this point. I'm halfway through and I'm like, I'm okay. So the idea is good, but like just too much, right?
Okay, so reduce it.
Yeah, not only reduce it. You for the hook, you must for the first piece. So the bit that's above the see more button. What you want to do is you have your hook and then just have kind of like the core message of what it is that you do. You can't have all of that stuff in there. There's plenty of space lower down. It's like just hit them with the actual thing that you do. It's like I help you to source property and I do everything for you.
Okay, so
that's like it, really.
All right. So just reduce, take out.
Yeah. So again, that first bit, like interested in property investment, but don't know where to start. You could use that. Nothing wrong with that. That could be a hook, actually, if you think about it. May not necessarily you know, according to one of those formulas, but it's still a hook. Or you might tweak it a little bit and find something a little bit stronger. But yes, okay, now I understand. And then just go into your value proposition. It's like, hey, I take all the pain out of it. Like, I find it for you, and I do all the admin. You know, all you got to do is move in. Honestly, say
Okay.
something like that. Then that deal is done. As long as they can work out that you take the pain away, because they know what the pain is. You're looking for international property. I'll do everything. I'll find it for you. I'll make sure it works. I'll do all the paperwork. I'll even put you on the damn plane. Like, you could say that, actually. I mean, I'd say that half tongue in cheek, but you know what I mean. That'll definitely get people's attention.
100%. Okay.
All right,
That's
but
pretty much.
like, you are a million miles better off than you were the last time we did this. Like, you're very close now. I think we can tweak this a little bit, but what I like about it is you thought through, and now you're quite clear in your own mind. Maybe we can just say it differently, but you know what you're trying to say. That's a big step forward, which also means everybody else is now going to know what you're all about.
Well,
So
the strangest thing is the moment I changed this, and I changed it on, what's today? I think I changed it on Monday. I've had 3 engagements with clients. People who've contacted me said, can we chat?
Yeah. See?
And just by, and I had, and the rest, you know, that was like the headline has been what's been on since Monday. And that was kind of like, because I was hesitant. I was like, is this not going to? And all of a sudden, I'm just, you know, people are just reaching out, and I'm going, okay, clearly something's clicking. So yeah.
So you see, Andre, that was kind of half the point I was making with you a little bit earlier. Is like, that's why the headline is powerful. If you get that headline right, like Inga has, because remember, it's not just that there's a headline. She's talking to the right people also, right? But this whole thing works together. And she changed the headline, and she's already getting different and more positive responses from the same people that she was talking to before when she had a different headline. So it really is that important. Okay, cool. Inga, thanks. That was good. Tanita.
So this is my my screen. I've updated all of the headings, and this I've changed my heading to this.
Okay, so what do you say there? Sorry, I'm betting a little bit to see that. If you can make that a bit bigger for the blind guy, you would appreciate that.
Is it why is it so small? Is it better?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if I could increase your cash flow and profits, be the pull to remove your accounting and tax headaches. Okay. Okay, got you. Would you be interested? If I increase your cash flow and profits and be the pull to remove your account? It might be a little cryptic for some people. I know what you're trying to say, and I find that quite amusing, but like, not everybody is on my wavelength. You ran a bit of a risk.
Man, it took me so long to get there.
No, listen, it's not horrible at all. I think it passes. I might be inclined just to make it a bit more direct. It's like, if you're in doubt, like clever or simple always. But that works. Okay, so I've got you. So now pop down. With accounting and finance. Okay, virtual. Okay, so my first client couldn't pay herself a salary after 3 years of the business. Awesome. That's a kick-ass hook. My first client couldn't pay herself a salary after 3 years in the business because of poor cash flow. Right? Like, every freaking new entrepreneur in the world associates with that. Right? In fact, 90-something% of entrepreneurs in the world associate with that. Right? With coaching and the right tools, she turned her business around, hired more staff, and managed to expand. Yeah, many businesses face the same, and now you enter. So again, you didn't necessarily play off exactly what you said in your magic message, but the hook is leading quite naturally into what you're doing. So yeah, I quite like that. I think that works. So you see, guys, it doesn't have to be the exact formula. You guys can play around with it as long as you get the idea, which is what she's got, and she's captured it. And now she gets into the rest of it, which we'll look at.
Is that many businesses face similar challenges? And then I've got, when I open it, you have that I help small businesses stay on top of their finances so that they can grow and succeed without all the stress.
I'd change those two around.
Is it?
I think that's a stronger piece, and I'd rather see that above the C button than below it.
Okay. All right.
And it might literally be just a case of literally cutting and pasting it above. Yeah. You'd also then you'd be able to create an extra space between it, and then you probably wouldn't see the many businesses face similar cash flow challenges, which is actually better, because the stronger and the more compact your message, the better.
You want them to be like, "Ooh, what's next?" And then
and to be sure that they want to click what's next, because they know what's up. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. All right. Listen, guys, I so badly need the toilet. so we're gonna have a break for 2 minutes while I make a quick run. If you guys want to do the same, do so. I'll see you in 2.
Christel,
Ja.
hi. So
hallo.
ek gaan laat ek eers 'n bietjie nog werk in daai boodskap vir my.
Okay.
Voordat jy te veel werk begin doen, anders dan gaan jy almekaar weer en weer die goed oordoen. So ek het 'n beter idee nou van wat daar moet kom, sodat ek net so ek gaan vir jou 'n nuwe een stuur.
Okay, nee, 100%. Ek het ook 'n paar idees gehad, so
Okay. Asseblief
ek wil met jou share. Ja.
Ja,
en
ek
dan
is
kan
grys
ons
man, ek dink stadig so.
collaborate.
asseblief,
Nee, dit is 100%. So,
Thanks,
kan nie wag om vir jou
dankie.
te wys nie. Okay.
Oh, great. Dankie, fantasties. Ek is ook ja, so much.
Okay, if you're telling me, I think I made it. 2 minutes, I'm back. Okay, Ellen, you're up.
Okay.
Well, you were until you disappeared.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Imagine your small service business with finances fully under control, clear insights and freedom to focus on growth. At GWIZ Business Solutions, I turn financial clutter into clarity, helping small service businesses like yours streamline and simplify their bookkeeping. With my personalized support and industry expertise, bookkeeping becomes a powerful tool for success. I can help your small service business take full control of its finances, ensuring audit-ready accounts within 3 months and eliminating the stress of financial compliance.
Okay, quite difficult not seeing that on the screen at the moment. Looks like you're on a phone.
Yes, I am on a phone.
You've got too much info in what you just said, because remember what you're shooting for there is just to get enough to get their attention above the see more button, which for most of us, as you saw, was going to be 3 or 4 lines, all examples that you've seen today.
Yeah,
so you've got
mine goes up to just before I can help your small service business, which is my value statement.
And again, something that's very important to remember: 60% of people that view your LinkedIn profile will do that on a mobile phone. So think about that.
Okay.
So when you're writing, and this is a general sort of rule of thumb, right, for all of us to remember, when you're writing, particularly the experience section and the about section, what you want to do is what used to be a paragraph is now a sentence. Literally.
Okay.
Or so I should say, what used to be a sentence is a paragraph. Pardon me. It's the other way around. So that readability becomes really, really easy and simple as you go through it. So you've got way too much that you're trying to do. You don't have to kill every single idea in
in the
upfront.
first statement.
You have to kill the idea that's going to get them to click see more. That's its only job. So pick the most, the most important, the most alluring one. So if you can create a hook and then use the hook to hit them with that key idea, then you're in the game. Once they're in, they're in. Like then they're reading. They'll read the rest unless it's it's a total mess and it's difficult to read and it doesn't make sense, which certainly is not going to be the case for any of us. So all we want to do is to get them to click the button. That's game plan. All right.
Perfect.
Cool. All right. So tweak that a little bit. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Rebecca, you also look like you're on a phone. Sorry, struggling to hear. Come again. Your audio is awful, I'm afraid. It sounds like you're very muffled and far away. No. Can't hear. All right. We will. Unfortunately, we'll pass you by just for now. See if you can fix it. We'll come back just now. Richard?
Hi, can you hear me?
All right. Hang on, Richard.
Okay.
Sorry,
right.
Richard.
I know you can't pass me now. That's not going to work.
Okay, now we hear you.
All right. Yeah, I had to move to the phone because I don't know what's happening with the laptop.
Okay.
And I'm not good at, I've never done screen sharing, so I hope. What am I supposed? Is that, yeah? Can you see that?
It's coming. Well, hang on 1 second. It's just loading. Hey, that's not bad for someone who can't screen share.
Great.
Look at that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I did Chat GPT, and Chat GPT, I asked them for 2 to 3, opening hooks, but they were so excited they gave me 5. And, I found myself having now to decide what was best, but I just picked these 2 and I thought I'd share these 2 because I felt that they speak more to me. First one is, effective corporate governance isn't just a legal obligation. It's the secret ingredient for long-term success. I'm here to help you embed governance practices that strengthen your business so you don't just survive, you thrive in today's challenging business environment.
I like that. It does.
Yeah, that's
everything about
me a lot.
everything about that works.
Say that again, the last part?
I said everything about that works for me. So what I know about you and what you do, effective corporate governance isn't just a legal obligation. It's like, that's quite jarring.
Yes.
So it's a hook, right? It's like,
okay.
Right. Because most people don't think of governance. The average person, like, governance is not in their vocabulary. But it's a legal obligation. It's just like, what? And then you soften it and you get into what you do and you help in that space. I like that. That whole thing works. I know you probably just about get all of that above the. I think you probably will. You get all of that above the see more button. So yeah, well, and so there you go. That's how you use ChatGPT, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you. Thank
you prompt it, and what she does is relatively complex in the big scheme of things, and quite difficult to enunciate. I've had the privilege of having other chats to her, outside of this. So I've got to know the person behind it, and that little value proposition is her. I don't really know how to explain that, but like if you're reading that, you get the message. So that was actually quite well done, relatively speaking, because yours could have been quite complicated based on all the stuff that you do. So good job, well done. Okay, Richard.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey James. Yeah, so I haven't been in the last 2 sessions due to illness the 1 week and work commitments the other. So I have done this homework, but I'd be willing to show you my LinkedIn, maybe more as a case study of what not to do, because I haven't.
Well, no. I'm just cognizant of time.
Yeah, we'll
I
move on.
get through a bit and I still have to teach you, but so let's hold that in abeyance. Have it. Okay, something is. Oh, not Tobacco. I think you might be the culprit because you've got like 2 things open. You need to close one of them.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind. Okay. Richard, hang 10 on that. Have a go at that, and we'll look at it because there's going to be plenty of opportunity as we go through. Okay. Mamuli.
Hi, Jim. Hi, everyone.
How's it?
I'm good. I'm good. So let me share my screen. Okay. Which one? Okay. So there's been some changes. Crystal did the banner magic. So
Let's see what it says.
Maybe let's get your response to it.
Okay, basically author. Okay, cool. I'm sorry, the blind guy. Can you read the text on the banner? What does it say? Random Guardian top 200.
Does it get bigger?
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
yeah, there we go. All right. Random Guardian top 200 South Africans brand SA ambassador inside education. Okay, that's cool. Best-selling author of winning the money game. Okay, so there's no real confusion what's going on there. I like that. Everything about that just screams authority. So yep, I like all of that, the book, everything. I like that you've also got all the places that you've been featured, which is good. Okay, so can you move it over a little bit because now the left part of your massage, there we go, is kind of so increasing employee engagement and productivity with financial education that resonates, assist ESD leaders to nurture financially literate entrepreneurs, financial education. Yeah, that's clear. Okay, cool. So, like as first impression, guys, like he's done it a little differently, right? So his magic message isn't like our magic message, but there's no real confusion there. Like the banner tells you, he's got a good profile pic. You get into this, you read it, everything is congruent. Like if this is your space, you get it. Okay, so really, really good first impression.
Thank you. So now, so the idea was, I think for my Instagrams and my Facebook, it's more personal. But what I found in my LinkedIn, my successes have been ESD managers and HR wellness days. So now this speaks more to them, and they would want to know that they're dealing with the thought leader in the space rather than the buddy everyday man next door.
Yeah. Okay.
Which was the previous.
Well done and well thought through, guys. Like you already said, like everything. So look at where he was a little while ago. He's thought about it. We've tweaked a bit of stuff, and like this is a massive improvement, which he has tweaked for the platform. Yeah, important to see. All right, cool.
Yeah, and just a shout out. It took a while to get here, and Crystal was very patient. So if you're not too sure where to kind of go, I think give her a try, and she's patient enough to take the journey with you. It was a couple of tries.
It's a let me tell you something. It's a talent to create a banner. You might not think so, but you go try yourself, and then you will see what I mean. No, it really is. It is a skill to create a good banner. So cool.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the about I'm still working on, but this is where we are.
Okay. So in a world where only 5% of the population can retire comfortably, the financial destinies of most people look bleak. Yeah, that's take that. You people that don't invest and look after your money, empower your employees and entrepreneurs to change their financial destiny. I feel like I'm wanting a little bit more. There's one part of me that's thinking, okay, is that enough to get me to click on the see more button, or do I need a bit more to know what that means? Not sure. I think it might work, but I might want to just something a little bit more direct and powerful in there. You see many financial education, training, coaching.
Put that first.
Yeah, it's like if you could get all three of those pieces above the line, that's what you'd want to do. But like your third sentence there, like that piece needs to be there.
So you're saying,
but I also yeah, this is where you go back to ChatGPT and say make it fit, because all of that actually works. So maybe you've got too much, you've wasted, quote unquote, too much space within a world where only 5% of the population can retire comfortably. The financial destiny of most people look bleak. I'm sure you can come up with something that probably halve that and be just as impactful. And then you could have empower your employees and entrepreneurs to change their financial destiny, and then ... or dash, and then try to get the next piece in. So it's kind of above the line. Or play around with that and see if you can shorten it, because you've got three quite good ideas there. If you could get those ideas to play nicely so that they look easy on the eye, and to all get above the see more button, then you've got a winner. I know it's a bit of a challenge, but ChatGPT is quite good at this type of challenge.
what I
Legitimately.
did like about it is that I'm a Marvel sci-fi guy. So in a world where only 5% of the, it starts. When you find out that he's an author, then it's like, oh, okay, I see the storyteller. But anyways, maybe it doesn't resonate. Pranitha had her hand up, I think.
Oh, I just wanted to say, why is your face hidden in the banner? Because we can't see your face.
Oh, that's just
when you
oh, fair.
Yeah, can you move it like maybe to the right so we can see Mlamuli with another Mlamuli on his shoulder?
The other thing you guys must do is when you create your banners, you must also look at it on mobile, because the mobile has slightly different sizing. Okay, so that's actually a good point.
Okay, thank you, Pranitha.
Okay,
no
cool.
problem.
All right, cool. I'm gonna pull it back there. Just sorry, in the interest of time. Thanks very much, Bruce.
Hi.
How's it?
Right, where is my million screens here? Right. So
you know you have to make that bigger for the blind guy. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, the hook. If I can ensure you get funding for your affordable housing project, would you want me on board?
There's not much more to say than that. I mean, that is like right to the point. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah. So if you took that, Bruce, and you took your first point there, 12 years of executive housing finance institution helping businesses raise finance for affordable housing. Now I'm doing it independently. If you took those two ideas and you put them together, that's a really strong opening. Again, you might need a little ChatGPT tweaky there, but yeah, not much confusion there. That's exactly to the point, exactly who you're helping. And I like the idea that you kicked on with finance, knowing that that's the big issue, the funding issue. It's like, oh, if I can, because that's it. That's always the big problem for this target market. So Bruce is an expert in this space, like legitimately so. and there's a lot that lurks beneath the surface here. So his target market would understand exactly what that means. It's like he's hitting them in the head with a baseball bat. That's great. Yeah, that's not much more to say. Little tweak on ChatGPT. So you could have your hook, and also nothing wrong, by the way, with what you've done there. So this idea, which nobody else has done, but in your it works. For 12 years, I worked as an executive in the housing finance institution, helping business raise funds for affordable housing. You might even want to be a little bit more specific there, in terms of the government side, because that's the bit that gets people to say, oh, okay, nosy stuff. Okay, now I'm doing it independently, so I can help you. Right. Then it all ties together. It's like, okay, this is the guy. Like if you are creating any sort of affordable or low cost housing project, and you are looking at that, you have to click the button. It's like you have no choice. You're an idiot if you don't. No, literally. So you play around with that and just try to get it into one. It's very strong.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
Thank you, Bruce. Who's next? Adil.
Hi, James. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
I'm actually on my phone walking right now. Let me just give you the magic message and the hook real quick. I'm not at my computer.
Okay.
So the magic message I have is, if I could resolve your legal disputes quickly whilst keeping your business compliant, all whilst eliminating the uncertainty of expensive legal fees, would you be interested?
Okay. Just read it one more time, if you would. There's a lot going on in there.
Sure. If I could resolve your legal disputes quickly and keep your business compliant whilst eliminating the uncertainty of costly legal fees, would you be interested?
Okay.
And well, for the hook, it should somewhat start off like, litigation in South Africa is a luxury that can cost an arm, leg, or maybe kidney. And then it just comes back to the magic message. That's why I resolve legal disputes quickly. Wada.
Okay, perfect. I like the kidney bit. and we're laughing about it, right? But actually, the kidney bit, right, actually adds a little bit extra to it. Because even if somebody's like, arm and a leg and a kidney, like you're chuckling at it, like even though it's like serious stuff, like there's a part of you that's appreciating the humor, and and you've got the attention. But yeah, it does what it needs to. So I like that bit about legal fees being a luxury, which is quite true. So it's a bit of a change, right? It's a variation on the theme, and it gets you to stop and think. Yeah, I think that does the job really well. Okay,
thank you very much.
Well done. Editor, I think you're the last one for today.
Yep, I'm here.
All right.
Okay, but right now I need to share my screen.
All right, share away. Sharing is caring and all that.
Okay, first of all, I must be honest right now. Sorry, I missed the last session, and I actually, while I'm listening, I was learning.
Okay.
But I did something in the same time. How can I get it? This one is here. Anybody see something? Nothing?
No. So what you got to do is find the controls, and you'll see a green button that says share.
That's what I did.
Oh, okay. Then
function Windows, and then there is.
Okay, then I think in the bottom right you have to actually click on share this, whatever it is you're wanting to share.
Yes, sure it is. You're right. Okay, do you see that?
Coming, 1 second. Okay, now we do.
Okay, so right now what I wanted to show you, because my banner is still not done. I'm sorry, the last 2 weeks were for me like such a roller coaster and I couldn't catch up really. But because I see your training as a very, very important for me and crucial, that's why I promise until the next one I will catch up with everything. But so far, just not to leave you hungry and angry on me. I just wrote something about myself, meaning the description. So description is actually pretty much I was thinking about driving the car for a long way and so on. So it is like, are you ready to sell your business but unsure how to find a buyer willing to pay top dollar? It's more like a introduction. Let me guide you through every step to connect with me the right buyer who truly sees your business's value. With a focus on a small to medium businesses, I specialize in positioning your business for maximum appeal. From market insights to negotiation strategies, I tailor my approach to ensure your business gets the attention and the price it deserves. Ready to get started? Let's connect. And then I work with me. I specialize in beauty business.
Okay, stop. Don't want to go further. Can you refresh your page? I just want to see what it actually looks like. Press F5 on your keyboard or refresh your page, that little circle at the top. Yeah.
Okay.
And then when it refreshes, just go back down to your about section. Okay, so that's what you're seeing, right? Don't click anything. No. Stop clicking. No. That's exactly what I don't want you to do. No, refresh again. Refresh and don't click anything.
F5.
F5, right.
Okay, I get it.
Okay, so as you go down, like that's what people see, which is getting them to click the see more button, right? So you got to say to yourself, okay, are you ready to sell your business, but I don't know how to find a buyer willing to pay top dollar? That's kind of to the point, right? That's getting there. Is it a hook? Isn't it? Maybe. I suppose it is in a sense. And then you say, let me guide you through every step to connect with the right buyer who truly sees your business's value, with a focus on small to medium business. I specialize in positioning your business for maximum appeal from market insights. Like now, while you haven't got everything done, there's enough in there for people to get a bit of a sense of what you're doing. So I think you could make that stronger if you actually sit down and work on it. But actually, as an impromptu effort while you were learning and watching, that's actually not a bad effort, because it kind of does what it's supposed to do. I think if you just apply your mind a little bit, you probably find you can make that a little stronger. But it does the job. So it's certainly possible for what it needs to do. That'll get a few people to click the see more button.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah. So what about the rest? What is that?
No, we're not doing the rest
not-
today. Rest
Okay.
another day, and I need to do a little teaching piece so that you can do some more. So I'm going to pull this back and say thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And then I'm going to, let me just get myself back to, right, let's do a quick share screen. Okay, so this is kind of where we were. So we've done the first two pieces here, right? In this template. So creating that hook and creating the value proposition statement, and hopefully now we've got them to click on the see more button. The next thing is this idea of the why story. So stories are like really, really cool, and if you become a storyteller, you'll be a much better marketer, and you'll actually relate and sell to a lot more people. So when we look at this piece about the why story, there's a lot that's really going on here, right? In this case, you're really trying to share a lot of about who you are as a person. So when I talk about relatability, this is the first piece. This is where people are going to relate to you as the individual, the person, right? So not the professional, not the person who's the accountant or the lawyer, or the wealth manager. No, we're looking at who's the person behind it. I want to know about Andre, right? I want to know about Inga. I want to know about Delvin. I want to know about the person. So when you tell people a story, what's quite interesting about our stories is that all of us, right, have a story of how we got to where we are today. I just pause for a second and just think about that, because it's quite an interesting concept. Now, some of the stories are very remarkable and some of them are very unremarkable. So some are dramatic, like mine is dramatic. I lost my business, therefore I now do this. Other people will tell you, no, well, I always wanted to be an accountant. I went to varsity, I studied, I passed, I wrote the board, I passed the board first time. I'm a chartered accountant, I went to work for Pricewaterhouse, and then I decided I want to work for myself, and here I am. Not a remarkable story, is it? Not the point, okay? It might not be a dramatic story, but it's a story, and that story is going to resonate with a particular group of people. And all of us, right, regardless of what that story is, right, we have a story of how we got to be where we are right now. We are all doing what we are doing, whether we thought that through and we planned that, or it happened to us. It's irrelevant. What is important is that there is a story that got us to this point, and that's what we want to talk about here. So this relatability lets people relate to us, whatever that means. And there's going to be certain people that relate better to you than others, right? The next thing about having a good story is that it gives insight. So it's not just relatability, but it's insight into you as the person, into what it is that you do, and you'll see in a minute more like why you do it. But having the insight into things like your value system, and what it's going to be like to work with you, the story can tell that. And the interesting thing with the story is, right, when we tell our stories, everybody that reads the story interprets the story slightly differently. Weird, I know, but the reason for that is that we all have our own upbringings. We've all got to this point in our lives where we've got certain world views, for example. We have maybe, person A has a different religious persuasion to person B, or a political persuasion. We have a different culture, etc. So sometimes when we get the story, again, remember that open loop idea of asking the question, like the mind fills in the gaps, right? That's what our minds do. So everybody's going to fill in the gaps in your story as it relates to them. So your job is to let them know as much about you as they can, so that the right people are going to resonate, right? And so again, having insight into you as the person, and then again the relevance. So when we talk about the story, and in fact everything that we're talking about, don't forget, right? This story must somehow back up your magic message, right? Literally everything on your profile is driven by that magic message. That is the most important thing that you're doing. We spend a lot of time, and we keep going back to it. Some of us, we're still refining, right? By the end of this, we'll all have our magic messages dialed in. But if that's your magic message, and that's the big problem that you solve, and that's the story you're putting out to the world, like the rest of the story must substantiate that you are able to deliver and to perform in terms of that promise that you made, because that's really what you've done, is you've made a promise in your magic message, right? So this whole story is relevant to that. And the big deal here often is why, right? So if you can answer the why question for people, or they can answer the why question in relation to them, it goes a long way actually to bonding with people, and actually to forming a fairly quick relationship. And by creating a why story, a story that is unique to you, right? Whether you think it's remarkable or not, whether it's dramatic or not, right? It's still your story. And so when people relate to that story, they get a really, really good sense. And this is the one thing that makes your profile different to anybody else's. Like, you can have 500 or 50,000 accountants on LinkedIn. It doesn't matter, right? Somebody's going to relate to you as the person, and your story is going to be the piece that really pulls it together. And while I'm talking about story, you're going to use it here, but there's so many other places that you can use it. So in particular, for what we're wanting to do here, when we talk about why, there's two things. Is like, why do you do what you do, right? Again, you might have got here by accident. It was unplanned, but you stayed here. You are still here. This is what you are doing right now. So why? Okay, and then the next question is all of you have spent a little bit of time working out who this niche is, who's the person, again with that set of characteristics, that best type of person for us to service, right? So why have you chosen them, right? And again, your story can answer these questions, and when it does, it becomes very unique. It becomes relatable. It becomes insightful. It becomes relevant, right? So that's the background behind this. Now, this is going to be actually a relatively simple exercise, but a fun one for all of us as we get to know each other. So there's only a few questions I want to give you to go and answer, and then you can start to craft a little bit of a story, right? So answer these questions as you do the homework today. So the first thing is, well, how did you get into doing what you do? Again, some of us knew we were going to do that. Others, it happened, right? It's like, okay, like for me, I had no plans on being LinkedIn expert. I was an accountant. I went to varsity. I studied for this nonsense, but yet here I am. Okay, and I've got to tell you, I work with a lot of people, and in today's world, there are very few of them. And you probably know your clients, your friends, your colleagues. There are very few people that are doing what they set out to do, right? Life takes us in a direction and we go there. So how did you get here? There's always something that's interesting in there, right? Then the next thing is, okay, so now why? That's how you got here, but why? But no, why are you actually doing this, right? Why did you get into doing this? And you know, these may be related, but you know, think about that, because this is the big why question, right? Why did you get into doing this? And then when you get past that part, because again, it might have been quite related to this first part about, you know, how did you get into it? Well, you're still here, right? So why do you continue to do this? If there's no real passion and there's no real reason, you're probably doing the wrong thing. I know that's a completely different discussion, but in relation to this, people want to know who they're dealing with. Like, they want to know you know your stuff. They want to know you love what you do. They want to know that you are the person. And when you start to answer these questions, it starts to relate to them. And in fact, they are very similar to you, right? When you answer these questions, then they start to resonate a lot with you. Also, what I'll mention to you as you're crafting the story, sometimes when you getting to these points, like, you know, how do you get into doing what you do? It might be a case, and specifically, actually, let's actually talk about this point, because this is actually where it really relates. When we say this, so why have you chosen to work with this particular niche, right? So you've called out who you're dealing with, and you're reaching out to them in your messaging, and everything is congruent. So when they get here, they read the story, and now they kind of know why you're doing it and everything. And now it's like, oh, there's actually a reason you've elected to work specifically with me. What is that? And again, sometimes like in my story, where it's very dramatic, right? I was an accountant, things went pear-shaped. Because of that, I understand accountants, and I want to help them to make sure that it doesn't happen to anybody else, right? And then that has now moved over into the financial space. So there's a logical reason from how I got into it to why I've chosen that particular niche. A lot of you, right, the reason that you've chosen to be in the niche may not be because of that dramatic type of situation. It might be like, okay, I chose to be an accountant. Actually, I'll give you a great story. One of my clients is accountant. So he decided he's going to deal with lawyers, right? So I said to him, why? He says, well, when I was a little bit younger, the lawyers, when they qualify, they've got to do this course that basically makes sure that they can run a practice properly. And one of the modules is finance. So he fancied this one lawyer, right? And so normally the lawyers are a little bit clueless when it comes to that financing part, certainly the newbies on the block. So of course, he was the knight in shining armor, and he stepped in to help her with the financial issues. And of course, things developed quite nicely. But what happened is she was very appreciative of that. She then told all the other lawyers on the course that, hey, this actually knows his stuff. Now, before he knows it, he's not just doing accounts for one lawyer. Now he's got like 5 of them, and suddenly he's now the expert dealing with lawyers, right? That's his story, and that's how we got to deal with lawyers. He's an accountant. He didn't say, oh, I'm going to specialize in lawyers. It fell out of the sky, sort of, for him, right? But there was a reason. the reason is not because I fancied the babe, right? The reason was I was the knight in shining armor. I helped there. It made sense, and she told other people, and now I help lawyers generally. So when you're writing this, think about it. In broad perspective, it might be specifically you. It might be because of a story, something that happened or because of a client. And then think about it, you might want to write a couple of additional notes if anything else comes to mind. Like 4 questions, like really simple to answer. And then you go and, just create a story. So here's mine, right? Why do I do it? So as a chartered accountant, I spent 25 years in the profession. And I did it in a quite a short space. You can be a lot more verbose. I'm not putting restrictions on this now, and you'll see why later. So I say, look, I lost my audit practice in 2011 because neither I nor my partners had any idea how to replace major clients we lost during the recession. I vowed to make sure this never happened again to any other accountant or financial director. So there's my why I do what I do. Here's why I do it for accountants. And then I just led in with a little bit of proof. So social media, COVID has changed the way that people buy financial services forever. To adapt, I published a book called Regular Clients from LinkedIn. Right. So you can see it. Your story can be short like this, or it can be half a page. Doesn't matter right now. Just write your story. So these are your cues and your prompts, and then you write a story so that your ideal clients can get to know you a little bit about who are you and why do you do what you do, right? And I think
Sorry, James.
that is it. Yes.
Just a question. How do you balance being a thought leader in your space and trying to think of how to put this, but if I'm being frank, you know how motivational speakers would then have that sob story. So let's say that sob story is actually the reason you got into a space, but you don't want to come across with that energy of not all of them, but some of the motivational speakers have that way. I don't know. It's like, is that really your story, and are you the thought leader? I don't know. It's that balance of maybe empathy compared to, are you now using that to really get that? I don't, I'm not putting this correctly, but
I think the answer is quite simple, actually. The answer is just be authentic, right? So don't use it to be a marketer. Use it to be a person. Write authentically what actually happened. There's a reason that all those motivational speakers use it. That's because it works, right? People love the quote unquote sob story. Sometimes people think that they don't want to show a vulnerability. All right. You're not showing a total vulnerability, but there was a time you started and you were just like them. That's what they want to see. Like, okay, great. So you, the big guru on the pedestal, that's awesome. How do I know you can relate to me? Well, because I was like you once. Is the story.
okay, makes sense.
If you tell that story with real conviction, with real authenticity, and you just tell the damn story, then it works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, cool. Any other questions? You can actually ask questions about anything. I normally have another client after this, but I don't today, so I've got a few minutes if anybody wants to ask anything. This is your chance. Otherwise, you all go have coffee now.
It's difficult to put everything in because of the tax limit. So I guess you have to
so
keep it succinct here.
What I would say from this point on, right, until we've drafted the about section, don't worry about going onto LinkedIn to update. Do it on a Word document. Okay. So don't worry about links and things. I'll talk to you about that when we've got everything together, and then we can play around with it. So don't stress about it now. Come get the ideas down. That's what we're trying to do. Once you have the ideas, then you can tweak it. And sadly, sometimes, like you got to kill some of your children. Sometimes it will be long, and there's 1 or 2 like really good ideas that you've put in there that just have to go. But this is not the time to make them go. We'll delete the the errant children a little bit later on. For now, just do it. So
cool.
like interesting, you know, obviously I coach this stuff on a one-on-one basis, and when I do, I like to go quite deep into the story with people. And many times when I create those profiles, in fact, the whole profile tells the story. So like I've shown you here, just to show you this. Sort of going back to this idea, right? Here I'm giving you a template, and it's a template because it's a structure, it works. What we often do, because I've got a little bit more time to dig in, you know, on a one-on-one basis, is like we'll answer all of these. So other than 1 and 2, which is kind of what we did, that'll stay the same, and call to action will stay the same. But the other 4, right? The other 4 can all be answered in one story. So it's kind of an indirect way of answering your question. That's why I'm not too phased about it now. Now, some of you will do what I did, right? So that's my story. It's sweet and short. Other times, we will cover all of these pieces, 3, 4, 5, and 6, in one long story. Because when you tell a story, you can tell anything you want in that story. So there's some basic stuff that needs to get across. But actually, you can cover any of these things in the story. It's actually quite easy to do. So don't worry about links and things at the moment, or how we do it. This is a really good structure that everybody can do. It's nice and easy to follow. There might be 1 or 2 of you that I say at the end, you know what? Actually, that story's so good. Let's expand the story, and let's take 3 or 4, 5, and 6 and collapse it into the story and expand it that way. But don't worry too much about that right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, once we've got our profiles nicely polished, what happens next?
What happens is I'm going to show you how to use the filters on
Okay.
LinkedIn or Sales Navigator to now go find the people that you've built this profile for.
Okay.
So that's the first step, and then we're gonna then what you want to do, and we'll talk a little bit about messaging. So I'll give you a little bit of insight into how to start the process, and then your job is going to be to send 100 connection requests a week. That's the game plan. It's really as simple as that. So that's as far as we're going with this. You know, if you guys want to do something more, that's a different story. But that's plenty, right? That gets you to probably 1 to 2 appointments a week, realistically, for all of us. Yeah. So that's the next step. But there's no point in picking people and shouting from the rooftops, and getting them to connect, because when you send someone a connection message, right, the intelligent person, and certainly the person who is likely to end up being a client of yours, right? The question that they're always asking themselves is, who is this person? They're going to look at your profile. It's going to happen every single time. So that's why we're spending so much time getting this right, because this becomes your sales page. This thing sells for you 24/7, and it sells for you when you're not there. And if we think this through and we answer all the right questions, it will push those people to the point where they say, okay, this is cool. Let me at least accept the connection request, and many times they'll actually book a call with you. So I'm going to show you how to incorporate calendars and things into this as well. So I find with quite a few people actually in my world, a good few every single month it happens, where from the LinkedIn profile, because of the stuff that we're doing, there's a calendar link, and it's part of this about section. They book an appointment straight from there, and then stuff we're not going to cover in this course, but there's follow-up email. As we do that, a lot of people will click on the link in the email and they'll book. I get a lot of people on my calendar that I don't even have to speak to. They just like appear there, because I'm going through this process. So it's very, very effective. Like the stuff that we're doing now is very, very powerful.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
All right, cool. Any other questions? Whenever you have to go, you can. Editor, did you have a question? Okay. All right. Well, if there are no further questions.
Sorry.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, I feel like the class clapped it, but anyways. So my question is, which would you prefer, thought leadership or the warm everyday man, buddy next door type of?
I think
Which
it
one
depends.
works
It
better?
depends on your niche. I don't think there's a wrong or right answer. I think it depends on your niche, and I think it depends on you. You know, I personally prefer the I don't know quite the buddy next door, but I certainly prefer humanizing, because I think that's the thing. This is social media. People want to know they're dealing with a person. And if we can break down a lot of the facade, because you can be personal and still be an expert and regarded as such. Right? You don't have to be a dick to be the expert. And you see that with a lot of people. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be the class clown either, and you don't have to be one of the masses. That's also okay. So I quite like the personable approach where people can kind of get to know you, where there's definitely a warm human side, that empathy that we spoke about, but that doesn't stop you from taking your positioning at all. Yes, editor.
Yeah, now I would like to say something. I think that actually, yes, we need to make a pretty tough decision, how human and how between being human and a business person. So, I don't know, I think that what is the answer? Probably it's like a playing lotto, but at the end of the day, you need to be authentic, and you will just resonate with the people, with a certain group of people. And
Yeah,
because
I
I
think
was asking myself the same question, actually, how much of my story, of my personal, I don't know, experience, because the last 6 years I went through pretty tough things, but how much should I share with it? Yeah, so that was difficult for me.
no. I'll tell you what the answer is. Some of it, the answer is space permitting, but you don't want to just tell a story for the sake of telling it, right? The story that you tell must be pertinent to what you're doing, right? Because
Relevant.
you're obviously trying to resonate with people at a business level. So as long as it's relevant, you should tell it. If you went through some serious crap and you are dealing with people who are going through similar crap, let them know about the crap. Like, they are resonating with you 100%. It's like, holy shit, she's been through this. It's like, if she got through it, she can definitely help me get through it. Like, that's the inference. And go into as much graphic detail as you are comfortable with doing.
Okay.
Stories sell. The more emotional stuff sells. A lot of people don't want to be that vulnerable, and that's a personal choice. But yeah, people like to see that you like them. It's not that they like to see vulnerability, right? Don't misconstrue that. It's not vulnerability. It's great strength. Shit happened. I'm now here. I got over that. There's great strength in that, but there's a relatability to, you know what, when I started, I was just like you. In fact, I was worse than you. Then they say, oh, well, okay, she started even worse than me. I'm in much better shape than she was when she started. If she can get there, I can get there.
Okay.
And she's the one that can help because she's been through it.
Yeah, I think you've described the hero's
That makes
journey
sense.
to the T.
Yeah, pretty much.
So
Here.
it's our hero's journey.
Yeah.
And if I've conquered the quest, then I can be your Dumbledore or, your Morpheus to you conquering your quest.
Yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't work for everybody, but I think if you can and you can weave it in, even my story was 2 lines, but you people get the message. They understand that. I didn't dramatize it and ram the point home, but it's clear enough, and I know this because of the responses that I get to the messages that I send. So story is powerful, because just like a picture says 1,000 words, a story says more, many more. Because you can paint a picture with a story, so you don't have to say, hey, I'm great. The story says you're great. Because the story is the story. It's got to be true, obviously, right? We're not fabricating stuff here. We're talking about our actual stories, the stuff that we went through. And that's why you remember when we started and we spoke about the niche. And I said to you, one of the best pieces of advice I can give you is where you've got prior experience. So if you, I can't believe I'm saying this, but lucky enough to be to have a story as dramatic as mine, I don't think it was so great at the time. Same with editor, right? But now I'm able to use that because I'm speaking to the same group of people. So when I speak, I resonate at a very, very different level. So not only are they relating to me because I am an accountant or I was an accountant / financial advisor, but they're resonating at a personal level as well. Because I've taken the tragedy, and everybody's better off than I was that I speak to, right? And honestly, if I could get there, so can they. And that's how people's minds work, and they put that together. So there's a resonance because we are the same, and then there's another resonance because there's a story. Oh, and now I get it. Wow, that's amazing. Okay, I'm in. Next week's going to be interesting when we have stories. So go write your stories. Next week we're going to learn about you, and we'll see how much you're prepared to share. And share what you're comfortable with. Right? If you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable. Don't do it. This isn't to embarrass anybody. This is to give you best practice. And if it's not your thing, it's not your thing, and that's fine. Okay. Your story can be short and matter of fact. It doesn't have to be emotional. But like if there's a good emotional piece to it, it'll help you for sure.
My story just really, you keep saying it and it's resonating, but it's attached to an industry player. I can't, and it's a horrible story, and I can't.
So you don't have to. So you don't have to mention the player, but you can mention the story.
They'll know.
So what? So what? If he's a prick, he's a prick.
No, that's important.
Do you care about? I don't know the story, so I'm being devil's advocate, and I'm telling you, who cares? One person who's a prick. Seriously.
It's your story.
It's your story, and he was or she was a prick.
Else's.
So, like, yeah, don't care about them. They're not buying your stuff. They caused the problem.
Like there was there's industry players in the loyalty game, and the people that was in the top level, they all know what went down.
Yeah, but when you
I just feel when
you write it,
it's in bad taste. I feel like it's in bad taste to kind of lay that out, lay that bare.
So think about the level to which you want to go, right? Think about your clients, the real people of the world that don't understand what an affiliate program is. Talk to those people, right? As you're getting into speaking to them, depending on what the story is, and at this point I don't know what the story is, so it's hard for me to give you advice. But like, just try to relate it to them. You don't have to bash the industry to relate the story. But the story is still the story. So maybe you leave parts out. If there's graphic stuff, leave it out. But join the dots. That's what people want. They want you to.
With regards to what I hear what you're saying now, with regards to taking the story, but using it as a relatability angle to the person that you're speaking to instead of just telling a story. So
yes, 100%. 100%.
Like, this is the biography. There's not the short version of the biography.
I wouldn't name. Yeah, I wouldn't name names or anything, or even implicate. That's not the point. Don't do that. I'm not saying that. But if you tell the story and that person happens to read the story and knows it's them, shame, hey? Karma's a bitch. Seriously, that's my opinion. I'm not saying go on a witch hunt. That's not what we're saying. We're trying.
Bad taste.
Yeah. So, like if the rule here is, if you're uncomfortable, don't do it. Regardless of what I'm telling you, I'm giving you my opinion, and you might write it, and you still say I'm not comfortable. Then don't do it. It's you can't do something you're not comfortable with. But maybe there's a way to make you comfortable where you can relate that story to your ideal clients in a way where they resonate with you.
That's going to be specs and thinking, but I will think about it. Thank you.
All right. Cool. All right. Any last questions?
Can I ask you to stay 5 minutes
You can.
after everybody's left?
Yes. I think that's a cue for all of you to go now.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks. Appreciate it. And we'll see you guys all same time, same place next week.
Cheers, everyone.
All right. Cool.
I'm
Inga, actually, I'm thinking, because this has been recorded. So
Yeah, you want to put the guns on another Zoom.
should we zap off and zap back on? Okay, let's do that.
Same
All
link.
right. No.
No, different link. Okay, we'll just hop on a Google Meet or something quickly.
Yeah. All right.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thanks. Just